And welcome to another sensational interview today with George Passas from PASCON. George is an entrepreneur, industry-leading builder, and a business coach and speaker. George, what makes you so passionate about being Australia's leading best practice builder?
Boris, thank you very much for having me today, mate. Look, for myself, it began early days. I always had a fascination with building things, and you know, there's a saying, builders breed builders. My father was a builder, so I was always surrounded by that. And once I was never the most academic person at school. I never got straight A's in anything, probably woodwork, got straight A's in. But when I started my tertiary education, getting my building diploma and then eventually my degree as well, everything made sense that was being taught to me. I didn't actually have to study too much because I understood the content that was given to me, right, and all the lessons that was given to me. So from that, it sort of grew and evolved over the years. I ended up getting my first job at a company called Multiplex, who's one of the biggest construction companies in the country, and that was a really challenging time and period, and I took it with my stride, and I really enjoyed it. Worked with some amazing people, you know, going back nearly 20 years ago, and I'm still friends with them today, and we still have connections with them today. So it's fantastic what the industry actually does aside from just the building. It's the people that you get to work with and the challenges that you face and you have to work through. From there, I did leave Multiplex and then went to another company called Abbey Group, where I, again, worked with some pretty amazing people, worked on some challenging projects, and really got to show my skill set because I was a bit more senior in that space. And then again to a boutique company. I left Abbey Group, went to a boutique company that was building sort of, you know, mid-tier apartments and commercial structures, and again, in a more senior role. So I got to challenge myself in a different way, had a team that I had to lead. And what I found throughout my progression in all my years is that I was always searching for that next challenge. I was always searching for that next level and how I could contribute to, making the industry better, but also how I could challenge myself, which then led me eventually into starting my own company.
So George, when we're talking about starting your own company, PASCON is the venture that you've gone and grown into. Tell us a little bit more about the humble beginnings of PASCON.
Yeah, so PASCON probably started a little bit unique in the sense that I teamed up with a business partner, and we were doing a lot of developments at the very beginning. So all the sites were our own, and we were in control of the whole process. So it was really fantastic to, you know, cut your teeth on those types of projects from the very beginning. From there, we went our separate ways because that partnership wasn't working, and it was you know, a mutually beneficial split. And that's when PASCON really took its stride and went out on its own and started to target the architectural homes and luxury home sector. We worked for a few years, really built our brand and our reputation for, you know, a builder that's accountable and able to deliver high-end products to our client satisfaction. And it's really been an evolving process since then as well, because we've now recently stepped into the commercial sector as well, where we're looking at warehouse projects and building a few of those. So it's always an evolving thing. I always think, okay, I'm going to go down this direction, and then we get to that end destination, we go, right, we've got to change the direction now and evolve and move with the times. And you know, that's been one of the most challenging things, but it's also been one of the most enjoyable as well.
And what would you say is the greatest success you've been able to enjoy to date?
Look, I think delivering projects during that really difficult period of COVID was a big tick for us. Like, it was very difficult, and we had to come across challenges that you'd never think in a million years you would ever have to face in business, let alone a construction company. And we're still facing some of those challenges today with, you know, the lack of materials and availability of trades. But I think one of the biggest wins that we had was we went through that period of time. We delivered projects. We didn't go back to our clients for additional money or extra costs. We decided as a company that, look, that's not what we're about. We're going to cop it on the chin. We're going to try and minimize any losses possible. And we're going to really try and get through this difficult period and then focus on the years ahead. And getting through that period and now being in another time, that we're in our current time, our business has grown exponentially in the last 6 months. And I think that contributes a lot to what we went through over the last couple of years.
And what separates PASCON from any other builder that we have in Australia?
Look, I think we're very process driven. I think, and I say this to a few of my clients actually, We're commercial builders that build houses. So when you're coming to us to build a home for you, we're very process driven, okay? And we've got a proven track record for delivering jobs to the spec and to the standard and to the time and budget that's expected of our clients. So I think that's really what sets us apart and why there's a lot of other builders who might be really good at what they do, just not good as us.
And what about George Passas? Why would somebody want to be working with George Passas?
Well, for myself, it definitely extends past the construction. Okay, I am not Passcon, I'm myself. And I like to portray that across all platforms, across all media, that yes, I am a builder, but I'm also a business professional. And my business is construction, I'm not construction. So, one of the things that evolved through that COVID period was we actually started a couple of other companies. And one of them was a consulting business called Builder Elite, where I actually coach and mentor other builders on how to run successful construction companies. And that business alone has given me so much pleasure and joy to be connecting with like-minded builders, and then coming back to what we mentioned before, establishing a best practice, establishing a level that builders should be striving for every single day in their operations. And to me, construction is a really prestige industry and profession. And it's unfortunate that, it's not perceived that way because of a few builders that may have done the wrong thing or tried to rip people off or have gone broke halfway through a build because they haven't done their numbers properly. And unfortunately, the whole industry gets painted with that one brush. So my goal with Builder Elite is not only to help lift the industry standard of builders and to coach and mentor them onto how they need to operate their construction company properly, but also even assist the clientele, the owner's side of the things, to understand, hey, this is what you need to be doing in your construction project to ensure its success, because they play a critical part too. The other business which we started as well was Legacy Media. And that's another surprise, just left wing, just came out from nowhere. And it's effectively a media company that was now filming all of our content for my businesses. That was the only reason I had it established there, just to film content for my businesses, for my personal brand, and to take it out to the masses. It had then evolved actually into a company that was doing work for other companies, because I had people knocking on my door and saying, hey, can you help me with this? I said, yeah, absolutely. So that now has become, those two separate businesses aside from Passcon have become their own little machine plugging away, and it's fantastic to be a part of that. So, my next challenge for myself is to start looking at scaling each of these businesses with probably less day-to-day involvement in each of those companies as well. So that's my next challenge and my next step, and where I'm trying to bring these companies, and who knows, next week I might think of something else that we can start.
I have no doubt about it. Now, George, we really do appreciate it. It's been an absolute pleasure to hear about how you've been building up your Passcon empire. How can anybody contact you?
Thanks, mate. I really enjoyed being here. Look, I'm available for keynote speaking. You can connect with me across all the social media platforms, and I'm also available for construction consultation.
Thank you very much, George, and we look forward to speaking with you again soon.
Excellent. Thanks, mate.